Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Today I've got a video that I think I always say is a little different. I want to say that this one's probably a little bit controversial. I'm a little nervous, so I'm gonna drink some water. I initially filmed an entire review video just trying out all the Moschino products. There's a couple for you. I do have to say, before anybody comes and leaves any nasty comments, make sure that you listen to the whole opinion here, because a lot of people come in and they listen to what they want to and then they leave a nasty comment, and then I later address the exact thing that they're talking about. So you know, if you're gonna come in here and troll and leave nasty comments, I'm just gonna delete them and block you. Like, that's not gonna do anything. But if you want to come in and like debate, just be civil about it and want to talk about like what's happened, I'm totally on board with that. My initial reaction was just, hey, this is a really cute collection. Now, Sephora has done a Moschino collection before, and I felt like everything was very Moschino. It had the bear, for example. Here's a sheet mask. This is part of the new collection. But the big bear palette, there was a few other things, and from what I remember, I mean, the reviews were mixed. It wasn't the best quality, but I felt like it was pretty good, and especially for like a store brand, if you will, because of course Sephora collection is part of Sephora. It's their little brand and their little baby. So then came along the second collaboration. Here are a few things to show you. So a laptop palette, we've got some pencil brushes, whiteout nail polish, you've got a liner which looks like a little fine point permanent marker, you've got some highlighters, and some liquid lips that kind of look like dry erase marker or something like that. So when I saw the collection, again, I was just like, oh, this is really cute. I definitely want to try all this out. And I was really excited. I was like, yeah, this is going to be a fun video to film. I came home, filmed it within maybe a day or two, and then I heard about the drama. So the topic I kept seeing was Sephora and Moschino has copied the Crayon Case. And I was like, this is unfamiliar to me. I was aware of the Crayon Case, and I think maybe like a year ago, I could be off on the time frame, their palette became really popular. I'll insert a little picture of it here. Very colorful, and I think even if you've watched only one or two videos, I think we can all agree it looks like a really awesome palette. And at the time, I was like, yeah, I want to get my hands on it, but it was sold out. And by the time it rolled around and I was like, okay, I can purchase it, it was kind of late. And I have so much makeup. I'm just trying to be, and sometimes I'm good at it, sometimes I'm not, but I'm trying to be more conscious of just buying a lot of makeup that I can't use in videos. I'm trying to get more makeup at the time where I can make a video and hopefully, you know, it'll blow up a little bit or I'll get several views. Obviously, I'm trying to grow my audience and my viewership. So from like a business analytical perspective, like, I don't just buy everything. I try to get it when it's either new or trendy or something. So by the time it rolled around, I was like, you know what? There's no point in ordering it at this point. So when this collection dropped, again, I had no idea that Crayon Case had as large a brand as they do. I was very familiar with the palette. I think I'd maybe seen that they had two palettes. Maybe that was like the gist of what I knew. So I'm gonna just go ahead and insert some pictures of side by side what Crayon Case offers and what Sephora collection offers with Moschino. So there are a few products that are quite obviously very similar. There's no analyzing necessary. There are sponges that look almost identical. There's a Sharpie liner that looks almost identical. The highlighters to me are different. So I believe the Crayon Case's highlighter packaging are concealers, and they do have a different feel and look to them. Personally, I think that these highlighters are different enough that I wouldn't look at it and be like, oh, those are the same. The pencils were another thing that were being shown around. So I do have these pencils to show you guys. So these are one of the cutest things, in my opinion, of this collection. So they look like this, where the bristles are the erasers. The Crayon Case brushes are, I believe, all eye brushes. Personally, I like the execution of these better, where you get eye and you get face, but it's quite clear that Crayon Case had their collection long before Moschino came out and put this collection out. That's really not up for debate. So a lot of the videos I've been seeing lately are comparing the Crayon Case and Moschino Sephora collection palette. Now that I don't quite understand. So here is the Moschino palette, and I'm of course going to pop up a view of the Crayon Case palette for you. So this palette to me is very unique in the design of the palette and the overall like aesthetic of it. So it looks like a MacBook. I think everybody can agree with that fact. So here is the inside. You have a little color switch type area where you can dust off your brush, and you've got a lot of colors. So this one has an array of mostly colorful, lots of shimmers. There's some neutrals, there's some, you know, some differences there. I am going to insert some clips of my previously filmed video so you guys can see it in action. I actually think that I came out with a beautiful look. I don't think this is super amazing or anything. The quality is good, but I wouldn't say, oh my god, you have to go run out and buy this. And I think I said the same thing in the video. It's good, it's really cute, but this is quite different and unique. I personally have never seen a palette that looks like a MacBook or a computer or whatever you want to call it. The videos that I've seen are people who are comparing the palettes, and I think if you want to win the argument of this collection being a copy of that one, the palette's just not the way to go. And there's really no denying that the Crayon Case has a beautiful palette, so that's not up for debate either. I think Crayon Cases probably has a better quality of eyeshadow. They look beautiful. They look like they blend easily. They look really great. So really the question or the glaring similarities are the liner, the sponges, and the pencils. The highlighters, I'm kind of iffy on. These I think too look really unique. They're different. I'm gonna ask you guys what your opinion is because I'm always sitting here giving my opinion. I really want to know what you guys have to say. Do you think this collection is so similar that like they should not have done this? Or do you find that there's enough differences to, you know, make you feel comfortable with it? I don't know. I'm really on the fence. The few products that are obviously similar, my question would be more so like, how did they come about? Like, was this a genuine idea and, you know, that it's just that rare occurrence where you really didn't know? Or were these products from the Crayon Case studied? Did they look at them and say, let's do that? That's really cool. I don't know. But one thing I want to note is that cosmetic brands do this all the time. It was unicorns and then it was mermaids. You have Stila created this really beautiful liquid glitter formula, and now everybody has a liquid glitter formula. So to me, yes, this appears to be quite possibly a copy, but it happens all the time. So a lot of people are showing up for this brand, but you know, what about the other brands that have come out with creative ideas and then had other brands, you know, use them, copy them, use them as a muse, if you will, or, you know, come out with something similar? It happens a lot, unfortunately. So I think the bigger question is, how did this come about? And I don't know if we will know that for sure. Like, was the creative team unaware? Were they copying? Were they simply going with like a vibe? I don't know. It's hard to know. We weren't there. But yeah, it happens a lot. Unfortunately, this time it happened to an indie brand. And I think that's maybe the big call out. They're like, you know, it's a big company and it's a little company here, and it's like David and Goliath, and you know, what are they doing to the small company? But this is also a limited edition collection. From what I can tell, I don't think it's like blowing up. And I also think that the Crayon Case has like proven themselves. They're here, they've got good products. It's quite obvious. Watch any video of anybody reviewing that palette. I really heard like maybe 95% all good things about it. So, you know, that question is not up for debate. I just think the palettes are not similar. There are some differences and then there are some similarities. I do think that this Sephora and Moschino collection is going to come and go like the other limited edition collaborations do, and the Crayon Case is here to stay. So yeah, I kind of take solace in that they've already like, they've made their mark. There are plenty of people that are like, no, I'm supporting the Crayon Case. So I don't think that, you know, a few sales of this is going to be to their huge detriment. There's a bigger issue at hand, is that there is no control over using someone else's creative ideas. Like, that happens a lot, not just in cosmetics, but this is what we're talking about. So yeah, so pay attention to that. I tend to pay attention to it more now, and once something has like had its day, like, you know, I'm not gonna go for every copy that's out there. But I didn't know. For me, it was kind of weird because I filmed this not knowing about it, and then learning about it gave me somewhat of a different perspective. What do you guys think? Is this a copy? Is this a coincidence? Is it, you know, enough of a difference that they're just going with like, you know, this is an office supply or school supply theme, whereas everybody used to do unicorns? Like, do you think it's enough difference between the two? I don't know. Personally, again, I'm on the fence. I don't know what to think. So yeah, this is not tea. This is just like an open space if you guys want to debate that. So I'm not here to like spill the tea for you guys. It's more so just like my observation and my opinion of it. Let me know what you think. I'm rambling because I don't quite know what to say because it's kind of crazy. So I am going to insert some more video of me just using these products in case you are here and you're just interested about that. Other than that, I appreciate you guys watching. I know that this is kind of weird, and hopefully, you know, everybody can just be nice to one another no matter which opinion you have about this collection. If you guys want to see me use some of their products, let me know. It's just not something I'm just gonna go order more stuff. I've already spent a ton of money on this. That's the only reason I'm not that it isn't great. And that's all I have to say about that for now. Okay, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you next time. I'm actually becoming like really impressed because the swatches were rather hit and miss. Like, there was some good, there was some bad. There was a couple where I was like, wow, this is really and then some that were great. So I didn't know actually using it, you know, how that would translate, but it's looking pretty darn good. All right, so I have to say I'm very impressed with all of the formulas of eyeshadow that I have on my eyes right now. I went ahead and grabbed one of these sponges and wet it. So there's your difference right there. It doesn't say specifically whether you should or not. This is actually blending pretty nice. And I like having that edge, especially like cleaning up this eye makeup, going around the brows. It's really helpful. I'm pretty pleased with that. I do want to try out this highlight on the foundation before I go in with any powders, just to see how it does. I'm not even powdered, and the formula is somewhat disturbing to the foundation and the concealer. I'd be afraid to try this out over powder. And I love how much better the eye makeup looks with everything else done. I love this color combination. This number one, I think, is a little bit more for like foundation, but I'm gonna go really lightly into this blush. This is Lunatics Cosmetics palette. I'm gonna go light and just tap that into the cheeks. I actually really like that for applying the blush. Okay. Okay, it's not disturbing the foundation, but it is laying down really unevenly. With a sponge, it just doesn't really look noticeable at all. These may be the one thing that I'm like, maybe save your money. They're really cute. I love that they're called Control Alt Delete, and I love that they look like these highlighters. Like, that is so cute. I'm definitely gonna hold on to them and see how I can make them work. We've got the marker eyeliner still that I wanna try out. So this is the tip here. Looks pretty nice. So that eyeliner was a bit hit and miss for me. It started out really great. I feel like the tip is a little too stiff for my personal liking. I like one that has a bit more flexibility to it, so I can kind of like flick it a little bit, if that makes sense. And then towards the end of doing my second eye, I had to shake it up a few times, but it just seemed like it wouldn't, like there was no pigment in the tip of the pen, and I had to shake really, really hard to get anything to come down. So that was a little weird. So I'm definitely between these two colors with this particular eye look. I'm leaning this way because I feel like it'll pick up that like peachy tone here. So if you've ever worn any of the Sephora collection liquid lipsticks, they're called, I think, cream lip stains. This feels a little thinner in consistency, which I kind of like. I'm waiting to see if it's gonna dry a bit more opaque. It's pretty much opaque, but there was just a couple places where it was like streaky, and I was trying to like cover it with more pigment. I just noticed that the little lids, hopefully you can see, have bears on them. It's already kind of clinging though to the inner part of my lip where I have a little bit of dry skin. That's a little unfortunate. I think this formula is kind of middle of the road for a liquid lip. It's definitely not horrible, but there are some that are better that go on more smoothly, more opaque from the get-go. And you know, this one's just kind of middle of the road. But you can see, like, if I turn my lip up, it's already created like this really harsh line of demarcation, and it's already dried. So there you are. It's really pretty though. I have to say that I do like the color. One more thing, our dad joke. Astronomers got tired of watching the moon orbit the earth for 24 hours. So they decided to call it a day. I cannot.